Skyhawks 4 or 5 came low across the bay to bomb the 2 landing ships unloading men and supplies. Although missiles were fired, proper air defences hadn't yet been installed. One of the ships, Sir Galahad, burst into flames immediately. The ship had been carrying 2 companies of the Welsh Guards. For those who'd been anchored for several hours, they were still aboard. The helicopters, which had been moving equipment forward, now flocked to help rescue survivors. Black smoke poured out as the guards' ammunition started to ignite. The helicopters disappeared into the black cloud, trying to pull men from the waters. Again and again, the pilots risked their lives to save others. On the cliff tops, medical staff waited for the helicopters to bring the casualties to them. In the middle of the airlift, another air raid was called, but the orderlies kept working, ignoring the crates of ammunition stacked in the grass around about. Many of the injuries were burns. So sudden was the attack, there had not been time for the crew to put on their anti-flash masks.
Right into there, right? You should throw it home.
Sold. It's sold.
Good. What about this one?
Swap up his ass. Want this one right here?
Right. Just cold.
Plug it in.
Sure, squeeze his arm.
Let's do that. Hang on, what?
Yeah.
Around in the water, orange life rafts started to drift back to the ship. The helicopters used their rotors to fan the light rubber boats back out of harm's way towards the shore. Once the casualties were clear, the helicopters brought in other survivors, among them the bewildered members of the Chinese crew. Like many of the fleet auxiliaries, Sir Galahad recruited from Hong Kong. In the confusion, It took hours to find out who'd survived and who had not. The priority was to save the living, not count the dead. The fire, fanned by the wind, spread at tremendous speed along the ship. If the shore hadn't been so close, the loss of life could have been even worse.
That one was hit twice over there in the back.
Throughout the whole rescue, there was the constant crackle of ammunition and the sound of bigger explosions aboard Sir Galahad.
This one's got more.
It took several hours to gather up all the boats and pull them into the shore. The medics waded out into the cold water, checking if anyone was hurt.
She's coming. You've got people following you in.
Come on! Jerk the fucking thing, jerk it straight. Pull it! Come on, pull!
Hold it.
You want to give me some slack? We can get out of the way.
Okay, grab that, put this one down again. Bring it back out after us, okay?
Next time I want to paddle, I'll go to the Blackpool. Right on the track, lads. Right on the track.
Okay, well done.
But that wasn't the end of it. The other landing ship, Sir Tristram, began to smoke. It had been hit in the same raid, although the fire took longer to gain a hold. But that ship too was lost, burning fiercely in the night. In a week of raids at San Carlos, not a single store ship or troop ship had been sunk. Now, 2 had been lost in a single raid.
What came home to me, probably midway through the conflict, was the sheer number of ships that we were either losing or were taking damage. And collectively, I think we all thought and discussed really when would it be HMS Plymouth's time, because there were not many ships that were going unscathed at a particular point. And then the day came, we were attacked by 4, 5 or even 6 Argentinian aircraft. We knew pretty quickly that the air raid that was coming in was for us. We'd all hit the deck. I remember myself on the deck of the ship. You could feel the shudders rippling through the ship, the bombs hitting, the rockets flying through the superstructure, and of course the cannon fire that was hitting the ship all down one particular side. Because of course we had 2 unexploded 1,000-pound bombs sitting on the back end that needed to be made safe. That really was a time to reflect, because of course it was still a danger to the ship, could have blew up at any time.